Hi friends, today I have the pleasure of introducing to you Dr. Sagar Nayak. He is rank 154 in this NEET PG 2019 and he joined us for his test and discussion course last year, and we are very proud of your achievement, Sagar, and we want to congratulate you, your family at the outset. Heartiest congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
How are you feeling today?
Sir, I'm feeling extremely happy today.
And relieved?
Yes, sir. Extremely relaxed.
Now finally the paper is over?
Over, yes.
So, and now that you're feeling so relaxed, that it must have been stressful when you appeared for the exam. This is such a competitive thing.
Yes, sir.
So how did you manage the entire year stress and that, mental makeup? How did you do that?
Sir, I was calm and composed, not only during the exam session, but also for the whole year. I was studying regularly, and that was the key. If you are regular in your studies, then you will surely get what you want.
I think regularity is the important thing. Like, why stress happens is if you are like, pushing things, suddenly you have too much to do and then you feel stress.
Yes, sir.
So what his message here is at the outset itself is that his key to success is regularity. And I think in that regularity part, test and discussion played a big role, that it gave you a schedule all the time.
Yes, sir. It played a very big role. You have to finish every subject within a span of 1 week or 2 weeks, and that keeps us regular with the syllabus.
So what was your strategy when you were appearing for the test and discussion? Like, were you always looking to score good in the paper, or like you were attempting all the tests? Like, how did you manage the test? Like, were you giving them with full seriousness, or how was your strategy?
I was not that much serious. I mainly used to enjoy the notes which I used to have after the discussion session. I used to study before the exam, and then in the discussion session I would took down those points which I didn't know before.
Yeah.
So this was my strategy.
I think TND helps us to find the lacunae. And so once you have given the test, those lacunae are exposed. So at that time when the teacher is telling, they have become more receptive.
Yes, sir.
Like, I have always seen that suppose I tell something to a student, he may not listen to me, but when I give him a test and he does it wrong, and I tell then, and at that time he is most receptive. And he's like, oh, that is why I made, and then that mistake does not happen again.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah. So the entire planning of test and discussion is like this, that where you have a test followed by discussion, the lacunae are exposed, then you go make notes, you make notes on your mistakes, and then you redo them.
Yeah.
Were you happy with the discussions after the tests?
Yes, sir. I was extremely happy. They all were very high yielding, and the important points that were told were actually very good, and at the last moment you are bound to revise those points only to score good marks.
So you felt that TND helped you to make high yielding notes?
Yes, sir.
And very precise.
Very precise.
And were you happy with the kind of paper that we were giving and the final NEET exam? Were you happy with the standard of questions?
Yes, sir. The standard of questions was mostly the same. The difficulty levels was almost the same. So it was quite good.
So when you were giving the NEET exam this time, how was the feel like when you were giving the exam? Was the paper feeling tough or just like a DAMS test? What was your feeling
Sir, it was average, just like that of DAMS paper. The difficult questions were extremely difficult, just like it happens with others, and the other questions some were too easy, so it was average.
Some of the questions you could do just within seconds.
Within seconds, I don't even need the options for that.
Yeah, maybe that helped to balance the time management also.
Yes, sir. It helped.
So how long did it take you to do the first go?
Sir, first go it took me 240 minutes.
Okay, and then you had time to revise.
Yes, sir.
So may I ask you, how many questions did you attempt?
Sir, I attempted 247 questions.
And what is your final score?
Sir, 883.
So you had done 247 total.
Yes, sir.
In the end, and you left 53 questions.
53 questions.
And that is like a new approach that we have. Like, so far in the interviews we have seen, most of the people we have talked to today have been the more aggressive kinds, and they have done more, and you have done less, but you have scored very well.
Yes, sir.
So that talks about your accuracy. So were you always like this in the previous tests also, that you were able to find out that okay, this is totally correct and this is what I'm now going to leave?
Yes, sir. The same approach I did in TND as well as in the NEET PG exam.
Yeah. Because there are two approaches to the exam. One is the aggressive approach, which most of the rankers would favor, because that gives them the leverage that they have done more questions. And I've seen every year there are a few people who get a very good rank, but they have attempted less, like you have done. So that kind of again emphasizes the same thing that I have discussed in my previous videos as well, that every individual is unique. And everybody has their own strength and weakness and their own things that would work for them. So each one of us should listen to everybody's advices, but then create their own plan.
Yes, sir.
Like, you must have done for yourself also that, okay, this is how I will go about.
Yes, sir.
So I feel that is very, very important to individualize. So then I want everybody who is listening to our interviews today to understand that whatever these toppers are saying, it is their journey. But not every journey will be same as yours. You have to find out what you are going to do in the real exam and what kind of person you are. Like, for example, for him, test and discussion worked. For somebody else, a regular course might be a better fit. For somebody else, something else might be a better fit. Like that is how you individualize. And another thing is, like, he's the out of the interviews that we have done today, you will see he is the one who has attempted the least, but the rank is almost similar. So that tells us that the accuracy also has a role to play in the exam.
Yes, sir. Accuracy has a lot more role. Mainly if we over attempt, then we are mainly faced with the negative marking. So that was the thing in my mind, not to go for negatives.
And you were like, you did questions which you were totally sure of.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
I attempted only those.
And any advices that you want to give to future NEET aspirants who are listening to you today?
Sir, just single advice that they should be regular with the TND courses. They should finish their subject as soon as possible so that they have more time to revise. The more the times they will revise, the better are their chances for getting a good rank and score.
And TND is something where the schedule is automatic. You have to just follow it.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Would you say that it is important to religiously follow the TND schedule? And like, I see sometimes students, they pick and choose. They miss out many tests and sometimes they miss out discussion. But I would say it is important to attend and get the because sometimes there might be something that you might not have understood, but the teacher will be able to tell. Like,
sir, the TND, everyone should follow the TND session only. It's designed in a manner that you have to finish a single subject in 1 week, or it requires more than 1 week for bigger subjects. So it should be followed religiously, I think.
And it is very important that we have designed a schedule which is important to follow. Like, suppose we have allotted 1 week to a subject. We want you to put that 1 week into the thing. We don't want you to put 5 weeks into. Like, suppose if I'm giving you dermatology, I'm saying take 6 days, and that is more than enough.
That's more than enough.
You should also be putting only those many days in.
Yes, sir, definitely.
And that is how I think the exact planning happens. And it's very important to hear from you directly. Many students are listening to you today, that do you agree that some people I see that they are not able to finish the subject in the allotted time, and then they extend that A subject into the time of B,
yes,
and
sir.
then B also get messed up.
Yes, sir. This happens with many students. They should only study that much which they can revise. Going for each and every topic is not a good strategy according to me.
Yeah, and it's important to understand that you cannot do everything in 1 year.
Yes, sir.
You have to prioritize.
Yes.
And with this, I would now ask you to, maybe say something motivating to future aspirants.
I have already mentioned what they should do. They should just be regular and honest with their work. If they are honest, then they will definitely achieve a good rank.
With this, I again wish you all the best for your future.
Thank you,
and
sir.
I congratulate you and your family on this awesome achievement. Heartiest congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations.